Hey, it's Noah at The Creative Startup. Today we are talking about me, my life. Stay tuned. It has come to my attention that the internet seems to be full of posers. A lot of people are out there giving advice, telling people how to live their life, and citing no sources, giving no credentials, no real reason to listen to them. A lot of people tend to be a little bit stupid sometimes. I know that's mean to say, but they'll just listen to anybody with a camera and a little bit of charisma on YouTube, and then whatever bad advice someone's spewing becomes the doctrine by which a lot of people live their life. And I do everything in my power to avoid this. It's why you'll see on every show I've got books, I've got articles, I've got sources, and I try to use linear logic so that things don't just make sense because I say they make sense. But with that being said, I still worry that what if I'm just telling people stuff and not backing it up, not citing my sources enough, and what if I come across as like this authoritative figure? So I decided today I'm gonna get out ahead of that. I want to tell you a little bit about myself, where I'm coming from in making these YouTube videos, where I hope to be going in the future, and just give you a little bit of backstory to back up the stuff that I'm saying, the sources I'm reading, so that I don't come across as like a phony. You know, I don't want to be a meme or like a projection of myself. I want to be myself. So I figured I'd explain a little bit. One year, see, my brother and I had this mowing company. So we would mow our neighbors' lawns and they would pay us. We made pretty good money. We'd make like $1,000 a summer or more sometimes. And so we'd always have these big purchases that we make. Like we wouldn't just split it and go buy ice cream every day. Like we would make a big purchase, a big thing that we would acquire. And one summer we were thinking about what we should get. And we heard somebody telling us that their friend had built a stage in their basement, like lighting, trusses, and a mixer and speakers, and like an actual stage in their basement. And my brother and I both decided that was the coolest thing we've ever heard in our lives. So we decided that's where our money was going to go that summer. Say we worked all summer, we got our money all saved up, and then we bought the wood, we built the stage, and I bought a bunch of lights. I found a lighting truss on eBay, and we hung the truss from our ceiling, put a bunch of lights on it. We got a little rack, and that's actually, I'm sitting on the stage right now, which is kind of cool. It's now turned into my video studio. But doing all that, I really fell in love with the whole technical side of it. Like, if I had a bored day, I had nothing going on as a kid, I would literally come down to the stage, come down here, and just like unplug all the wires from everything and figure out a better way to reconfigure it. I was like, oh, this could be more efficient if we just did this and plugged this to that and did. My love of music and my love of technology kind of like met in this one place, in the stage area, in working with lights and music, and it was all such a cool experience, and the outcome of it was so interesting. It wasn't just numbers and math. It was like you're making better sounding stuff. And so I started college, my junior year of high school, and I decided I wanted to learn production. I wanted to learn how the backside of the music industry worked. That's when I decided to go to the school that I'm currently going to and graduating from in a couple weeks, McNally Smith. So at McNally Smith, I learned production. I got better as a musician. I learned about music business. And in the process of learning music business and a couple other things also in my life, like a couple books I read about personal finance, and I really realized that there's actually a huge opportunity for me to not just be another producer, but to be an entrepreneur, to start businesses. And this idea that artists don't make money is kind of a false idea. It doesn't have to be true. It is true a lot of times, but it's not enforced. No one's keeping artists from making money. It's just a mindset. And when I realized this, it opened my eyes and it really got me thinking, like, what could I do? What kind of business could I start? What could I do that would be interesting, that would be helpful to the world, that can make other people good money, and that could make me some good money as well? And in thinking of that, I really got into a lot of different things. So I thought maybe I build an app for musicians. Maybe I build a web store where people can sell beats and compositions. Maybe I run a big blog and offer advice. So I kind of prototyped all this stuff, and I got really into web design in the process, and just anything that I thought could go towards building a business, I would learn. So I'd learn finance, I'd learn, again, business, I would learn how to build websites, I learned all this kind of stuff. That's kind of what set me on the path that I'm on today. That's why I'm making this YouTube channel, is because I want to experience seeing what artists need. How can I help artists? How can I help creative people to keep doing what they love in today's world, in today's environment? So that gets us up to present day. Right now I'm workshopping a lot of business ideas, and I've really identified that I want to work in the ad industry for a while, because that's one of the few places where art is really, really valuable. And a lot of people would call advertising like selling out, or it's not a real artist thing, or whatever. I don't care. But I think advertising is a lot better than working at McDonald's. And a lot of artists are forced to pick up stupid jobs that they don't like, so that they can just pay the bills and go on and make music that they do like. And I think that advertising might be the way that artists can make money, whether it's making music or graphics or whatever, for advertising, which makes a lot of money, and that can pay their bills. And then on top of that, they can make their really deep, introspective, interesting art. But it doesn't have to be an and or. I'm hoping to get into like an ad firm in these next couple months and work with them to really learn how the business works, to hopefully make a little money and pay off school as quick as possible, and get a foot in the door in this ad industry, see how it works for musicians. And one of the ways I was hoping to get into the ad business was going to New York this winter. I've been emailing a lot of people about maybe getting a paid internship in New York, and kind of all year actually I've been planning this, like, okay, come winter I'm going to graduate, then I'm going to go to New York. And just this last month that fell through. So this whole plan of going to New York is kind of like, nah, that's not going to happen. There's not a paid internship available anymore, and I'll just have to figure something out here in Minneapolis, which was a pretty big letdown, if I'm being honest with you guys. Like, it's hard because I tend to hold myself in like pretty high esteem, which maybe is prideful or maybe not, I don't know. But like, I'm a hard worker. I can figure things out pretty quick. I'm a quick learner, and so to be denied from like these jobs kind of sucks. And the last thing that's really going on is, as I mentioned before, I'm graduating next month, or this month now. It's December. Yeah, this month, in 2 weeks. So I'm really, really excited. I'll have a production and music business degree. I'm not really sure if that's a real thing or not. It's like a Bachelor of Science in Music is what I tell people. That's what it is. I'm excited for it to be done, but I'm trying not to let myself just bank on everything falling into place either when it does finish, because it'll be a couple weeks and then things will be crazy again for another couple weeks. I'll be going on a trip and getting back, and so I have to be preparing now for like what comes after. I can't just bank on everything like, okay, now school's over, it's just gonna work out. And so that's been another really good learning experience of not being in the mindset of right now isn't good, but this one thing's gonna happen and then it's all gonna be okay. I've been drudging through that lesson as well right now, but it's a good lesson. I think it's an important lesson to learn. I hope that kind of sums up who I am, what I'm about. Again, I just thought it was important to make a video explaining that, because I don't want to be one of these posers who like has this false sense of authority over other people, or like gets to speak into their life for no apparent reason. Like, I think if you're going to have authority, it should be based on merit. And if you're not going to have authority, it should be based on who you are, and people should know you. So that's me. Again, there's No Note to Creative Startup. If you like this video, or if you want an actual advice or ideas that I've been working on or reading about, click subscribe. I'll be making a video every week, at least through the end of the year. So at least through the next couple weeks, and then I'm hoping to start back up in January. So take care.